With 21 games spanning almost 4 decades, the Zelda series is a massive franchise. Today, I wanted to visit every single one of these games to see what they were like and talk about a fact for each. I'll also be joined by Nat13 in this video, so go check out his video and channel in the description. Let's get started.
Did you know that Zelda 1 was one of the first games to introduce an open world concept? Yep, even though compared to open world games such as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and Elden Ring and all those, it's not as open worlded, I guess, but it still allowed players to discover things at their own pace.
In Zelda 2, there's actually 2 Zeldas. There's the one you saved in Zelda 1, who's just chilling in Hyrule Castle apparently, and then there's the one you save in Zelda 2, who's Zelda the First. At the end of the game, there are 2 living Zeldas in the same Hyrule.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know this fact, but A Link to the Past was the first Zelda game to introduce the Master Sword. To actually get it, you had to have 3 pendants of virtue. It also had the Light and Dark world, which is pretty cool.
Link's Awakening was not only the first handheld Zelda game ever, but it was also the first Zelda game to take place outside of Hyrule, as it takes place on Koholint Island, my personal favorite location in Zelda. Apparently it's not real though.
Ocarina of Time was the first Zelda game to introduce 3D graphics, and it revolutionized the gaming world with its introduction of Z-targeting. This mechanic allowed players to lock onto enemies or objects for more precise combat and interaction, making the gameplay smoother and more intuitive.
In Majora's Mask, you can force Link to commit murder. If you shoot the robber who stole the bomb bag from the grandma with the bow, he straight up explodes on the spot. Good job, Link.
These 2 games were designed to be interconnected. Developed by Capcom in collaboration with Nintendo, they allowed players to link the games together using passwords or game link cable. Also, sometimes actions in one game would influence the ones in the other.
In these 2 games, which by the way include my favorite Zelda game, you can link with the other Oracle game in order to get a secret boss fight where you fight Ganon himself. This game also takes place outside of Hyrule. Wind Waker was the most hated Zelda game upon release because of its cartoony art style, while everybody wanted a realistic one. That art style actually allows it to stand out as a modern looking game for today from 2002, while Twilight Princess looks dated from 2006.
Four Swords Adventures was the first Zelda game that was primarily made for 4 people. Up to 4 different colored links could all join and play, each representing the power of the 4 sword. Even the Game Boy Advance could be used to connect with the GameCube in a way that the Game Boy Advance could be used as a controller.
Minish Cap was the first and last Zelda game completely developed by Capcom.
Twilight Princess was actually the first Zelda game to be released on 2 different consoles at launch. Also, Link was traditionally left-handed, but because so many people were right-handed, they changed Link to be right-handed for the Wii version.
Phantom Hourglass had one of the most controversial control schemes in the series with touchscreen controls. It was also originally a 4-sword remake for the DS.
Spirit Tracks was the first game where Zelda actually played kind of a big role. Instead of being the typical damsel in distress, she actually possesses some very strong abilities like having phantoms at her disposal.
Skyward Sword is not only one of the only Zelda games where Link and Zelda probably end up together, but it was also Zelda's 25th anniversary game.
Other than the cool new wall merging mechanic, Link Between Worlds takes place directly after A Link to the Past, but with a new cool storyline and a new world, Lorule.
Triforce Heroes is one of the worst rated Zelda games ever. This is because the single player campaign sucked, but the multiplayer wasn't all that great either.
This was the first Zelda game that literally had no order to what you could do. You could go be Ganon within the first 30 minutes if you wanted to. In fact, the world record is 23 minutes and 51 seconds. But there were quite a few glitches. I'm not saying they were bad, but
Tears of the Kingdom was the first Zelda game to take up a sandbox-like gameplay style.
even though Echoes of Wisdom is only like a month old, did you know that if you visit a hot spring, Zelda will close her eyes as if she is enjoying the warmth of the spring?
Well, there you go, a fact for every mainline Zelda game. I want to give a special thanks to Nat13 for featuring this video, and make sure to check out his channel and video in the description. Subscribe for more Zelda stuff like this, and also let me know what you would like to see next in the comments below. Thanks for watching.